What up, YouTube? Moose here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turns 10 and 20 this week. All right, this is a big one. The films that are celebrating its 10th anniversary. We got the Seth Rogen and Barbara Streisand comedy classic, The Guilt Trip. Now, if you guys don't know much about the story here, it stars Seth Rogen and Barbara Streisand, and you have Seth Rogen plays Eddie Brewster, who pays a visit to his overbearing mother, Joyce, played by Barbara Streisand, and he pretty much which proves to be a big mistake, where he caves in under pressure to take his mom along for the ride, and of course it's pretty much a road trip. It's pretty much a road trip comedy featuring both Rogen and Streisand. It's directed by Ann Fletcher, who also gave us The Proposal. She recently gave us Hocus Pocus 2 just recent. This movie did not really get much love. It only has like a 35% Rotten Tomatoes, but I thought it was pretty fun. I mean, the chemistry between, you could really buy Seth Rogen and Barbara Streisand as son and mother. I mean, I thought they really play off each other perfectly. It's very odd. Like, this movie was, of course, PG-13, so it was very odd seeing Seth Rogen in a PG-13 comedy here with Barbara Streisand, where they're not actually dropping F-bombs, so that's interesting. But really decent little film if you guys haven't seen it. All right, also turning 10, we got the first Jack Reacher movie. Of course, Jack Reacher just got turned into a TV show with Alan Richardson, I think his name is. But before that, there was the Tom Cruise one. And of course, this is based on a very popular series of books. Now, I know Jack Reacher did not really get much love because Tom Cruise is very short to play this character, while the new guy, Alan Richardson, he's actually more his lane. But that aside, I still think Jack Reacher was really fun. The sequel was okay, just wasn't as good as the first film. But Tom Cruise, I thought was great as that character. I think he really, I mean, granted, I never read the books. So I really can't really comment on if, compare the character to the book because I never read the book. But it is a Tom Cruise movie, and I think he still plays his part perfectly. Tom Cruise is always so great, whether it's Top Gun, whether it's Mission Possible. I mean, guy is always on his game, and Jack Reacher really showed it. You also had Rosamund Pike was also in this, David Elio, Werner Herzog was in this, Robert Duvall. Talk about really cool casting for this. All right. Also trending 10, we got the Judd Apatow comedy, This Is 40. Now, this was a spin-off, a spin-off video of Knocked Up, and this featured Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann as their characters Pete and Debbie, whose stressful relationship is compounded by each turning 40. Of course, this does feature their Judd Apatow and Leslie Mann's real life kids, Maud Apatow and Iris Apatow. Now, of course, Maud Apatow right now is more best known for the show Euphoria, where of course she plays the character Lexi Hara, who I think she's so good on Euphoria. I cannot wait to see where they take season three at. And of course, Iris was just in that movie, The Bubble. And you also have some other cool cast members. Like you had Jason Segel, Megan Fox, Melissa McCartney. You even had Billy Joe Armstrong was in this. I mean, the movie is actually one of I guess it's one of Judd Apatow's less favorite films, but it is really decent. It is charming. Paul Rudd and Leslie Mann are both great. Of course, you guys don't know. Early this year, it was actually announced that Judd Apatow is planning to do another one. So who knows if we're going to get another one? But yeah, I really enjoyed this before. It really is a well film. Now, also turning on 10, we got The Impossible, which is of course about the 2004 tsunami. And of course, you had Hugh McGregor, Naomi Watts, and not to mention you had a very young actor in this who some young actor named Tom Holland was in this. And of course, we know Tom Holland would go on to play a different major character here, which is of course Spider-Man. So I guess you could say this was pretty much Tom Holland's first major foray into films and all. Of course, it was directed by J. Barnoa, who gave us the second Jurassic World movie. I mean, The Impossible was a trick. Naomi Watts, Hugh McGregor was great in this. A very young Tom Holland was terrific. I mean, really decent film if you guys ever see that. All right, what's turning 10? We got Zero Dark 30, which of course is about the capture and assassination of Osama bin Laden. Of course, this was Catherine Bigelow's follow up to The Hurt Locker. Zero. I probably prefer Zero Dark Thirty over the Hurt Lock. I met. This movie is awesome. I mean, it's so intense. Jason Clarke is great. Jessica Chastain. You had James Gandolfini was in this. I mean, this movie is so excellent. Really intriguing, very intense. You had Chris Pratt, Joe Edgerton was in this. Really remarkable film if you guys have seen that. Now, speaking of James Gandolfini, that was not the only film he had 10 years ago that came out the same week. Also, Train 10 was this little movie that not many people have probably even heard of called Not Fade Away. Not Fade Away was actually directed by David Chase, who is, of course, best known for the creator of Sopranos, which hence why James Gandolfini started this. And I mean, this film will leave you tears because this movie did got released about a month before James Gandolfini passing, and there was really a scene where like James Gandolfini ends up telling, I believe it was his wife in this, that he's dying of cancer, and then granted James Gandolfini did die of cancer, but he still did pass away about a year after. So I don't know if this was like a foreshadowing of his passing or anything, but yeah, this movie is a really good film though. If you don't know much about the story, it takes place in 1960s New Jersey, and I guess say it's like The Sopranos, but instead of gangsters, it's set in the music world. And here you have Doug, played by John McGarrow, who drops out of college to devote his energies to the rock band he founded in high school, and much to his charming of his father, played by James Gandolfini. And when Gene, played by Jack Houston, the band's lead singer, has like a mishap that temporarily knocks him out of his frontman, he pretty much takes over, and the band's new sound is a hit here. And you also had Bella Heathcote was also in this. You had Brad Garrett was in this. Some really good cast members. Had some decent music. I mean, Gandolfini was really terrific in this. I mean, really, movies like this really showcased that James Gandolfini was not just Tony Soprano. Like he really nailed it every inch here. And of course, he was also in Zero Dark Thirty that same week. Gone way too soon, man. I mean, R.I.P. James. All right, now films turning 20. Oh boy. Last week I talked about the first Hobbit film that turned 10 last week. Well, turning 20 this week. Oh boy. We got the second, not the first one, the second Lord of the Rings. Simply titled Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. Holy cow, I can't believe this one's 20. And next year, the third one, which of course was one that won tons of best films tons of award at the Oscars. That one turns 20 next year too. Holy cow! Perfect timing for them to do Ring of Power, by the way, this year. But yeah, of course, this is the and this, of course, as far as the continuing quest of Frodo and his fellowship to destroy One Ring, and Frodo and Sam, played by Sean Astin, discover they are being followed by the mysterious Gollum. And so Aragorn, played by Viggo Mortensen, the elf archer, the Legolas, and Gimli, the dwarf, encounter on the Beside Road Kingdom. I mean, I'm not really like the world's biggest Lord of the Rings fan, but this is a really. But I do like them. Don't get me wrong. Every time I say that, people will be like, "Wait, you hate Lord of the Rings?" No, I don't hate Lord of the Rings. I'm just not as big as them as most people are. Although I did try Rings of Power, and I'm not too big with that series. Like I said, I'm not really a big Lord of the Rings guy, but Rings of Power, I had to try, but just really couldn't get into it. So yeah, that's why I didn't do my review for that because I didn't really want to talk smack about. But yeah, I mean, I didn't hate it or anything. It just didn't really do much for me. But that aside, of course, I believe that Shutara got nominated for Best Picture. I know it won some stuff, but yeah, this is a really decent follow-up if you guys haven't seen it. Right, also turning 20, we got Antowne Fisher, which was the directorial debut by Denzel Washington, who will, of course, go on to direct, Fences, The Great Debaters, Jennifer Jordan, most recent. Denzel is a really remarkable filmmaker. If you guys don't know much about the story here, it is the touching story of a sailor played by Derek Luke, who, prone to violent outbursts and is sent to a Neville psychiatrist played by Denzel for help. A is refusing to first open up, and then he eventually breaks down and reveals like a horrific childhood. And so, yeah, of course, this was, I believe this was Derek Luke's first feature. Of course, he would go on to appear in 13 Reasons Why, the first Captain America film. He is a really cool actor. I mean, he doesn't really get, like, Derek Luke is really an actor that does not really get recognized as much, but I think this dude is really remarkable. Like, he was so good in 13 Reasons Why. I mean, man, talk about good performance there. And of course, his chemistry with Denzel Washington, I thought was great. I mean, this is a really remarkable film. You guys never seen it. All right. Also, Train 20 for all you Wild Thornberries fans. There's, of course, the Wild Thornberries movie. Now, of course, this is the feature film that finds one of America's favorite anime families going to the wild adventures around the world. And now, 12-year-old Eliza is in Africa where she meets this mysterious shaman who like grants her the power to talk to animals here. And like I say, the Wild Thornberries movie is really cool. I mean, of course, at around the 2000s, Nickelodeon was always keen on bringing its like anime series to the big screen. Of course, there was the Rugrats movie, there was Hey Arnold the movie, and of course, Wild Thornberries. And Wild Thornberries is a really fun little show if you guys haven't seen that. I mean, it would be cool to revive that, but I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. But the Wild Thornberry movie is a really good one if you guys haven't seen that. All right, last but not least, Train 20, we got Gangs in New York, starring Leo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis, Cameron Diaz, Liam Neeson, John C. Reilly. Gangs of New York, of course, was just announced to get turned into a TV show just recent. Gangs of New York is terrific. You had a great cast here. Leo DiCaprio, I thought was really remarkable in this film. If you guys don't know much about the story here, it is based on a book where Amsterdam Fallon, played by DiCaprio, is like this young Irish immigrant who is released from prison and returns to the Five Points seeking revenge against his father's killer. And William Cunning, played by Daniel Day Lewis, is this powerful anti-immigrant gang leader, and he knows that the revenge can only be attained by infiltrating Cunning inner circle here. And it is a really good one. I mean, of course, this got lots of Oscar nominations. The cast was great. I mean, I'm gonna look forward to see where they're gonna take this as a series too. So hopefully it'll be something cool. But that's pretty much it there. Let me leave it to you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? The 20-year one, I would probably say This Is 40 or The Guilt Trip. But my favorite one here is probably Zero Dark Thirty. That is maybe the better film on that list. But the 20-year one, I also probably say Two Towers, but I'm probably gonna go with, and my favorite one on this one is probably Antowne Fisher. That, like, Gangs in New York is great, but I'm probably gonna go with Antowne Fisher. That one probably stand out to me a little bit more. Anyway, drop me a comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Simon signing off.